Alright guys, quick video tonight, already a little bit tired, a little bit later in the day for me. Just wanted to do a quick run over about what's going to happen this next week, or what I assume is going to happen this next week on the marketplace. Right now, market cap's at 4.7 billion. That's awesome, that's great. We've seen prices return even closer and closer to their previous dip highs. And, just overall some pretty good news regarding the market. If you bought in at any of these dips, I bought in on both of them, on the 30th and on the 24th/26th. You're going to be doing great, assuming you don't get trade reversed, which you probably will, let's be honest. Everything seems to be returning back to normal. I made a prediction about this happening on my Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, by the way. I make market predictions and interact with the community. On the 27th, I, made a pretty bold tweet. Yawn, ship has sailed. V reversal, slight dip at October 30th incoming. Mark my words. Put this little nice image to display what was going to happen with the market. And sure enough, but, just saying, drop me a follow on Twitter if you want some good market predictions and analysis based on logic and reasoning and dealing with human emotion. In other news, websites like Buff are seeing massive increases on prices, which is not what I was expecting. I was expecting Western markets to rise a lot more than Eastern markets, but here we are. These same pair of gloves would have been going for about $420 to $440 on the 30th, or on the early morning of the 30th, which is then when I actually picked up a pair of them. Arbitrage opportunities are still present. If we go to float real quick, look at some Imperial plaids. Minware, we got these going for like $800 easy. They're actually selling for this amount too. 800, 794, 755. You get the point. So great opportunities for arbitrage if you're interested in that. I personally enjoy it a lot. Just easy money if you know what you're doing and you know how to be safe. But over this next month, I believe we're going to see some sort of consolidation period. We had our initial drop, and this is where we're kind of at right now. I think that for a bit we'll consolidate. I think people are going to take some time to figure out that, hey, reds are a bit undervalued right now, or consequentially knives are a bit overvalued right now, because so many of the trade-ups after prices rebounded have become profitable again, consistently so. So we're probably going to be seeing some people spam some more trade-ups and start increasing the prices of those reds or decreasing the price of those golds, or a combination of both. And prices will start to regulate themselves, and we'll essentially find ourselves in a market where we have gone over and started to redecide what things are worth, what reds are worth, what golds are worth, what crappy golds are worth. Simply put, I think that we're going to have these three things happen within this next week, okay? We're going to have one, cheap golds become cheaper. Raffle Monster or Sam on Twitter was saying the same thing. I agree with him completely. Cheap golds will continue to become cheaper as people spam trade-ups. No one actually desires these golds, so their intrinsic value, their value based on desire, is already low. So as supply increases, naturally price should continue to fall. Play skins, I think, will increase by, increase another 10% or so and consolidate, right? Play skins is referring to anything that's pretty, things people want, things that are relatively affordable, at least in the range of the CS market, and things that people would buy for the purpose of using rather than investing in. And then third, I believe that the market will continue a strong uptrend after this next week or so. I believe that this will happen because, it's some consolidation period. People are figuring out what things are worth, what trade-ups are profitable, doing them until they're not profitable. And that will essentially correct the market in my eyes. And as CS interest continues to grow, we got to think that this is an economy tied to a player base, one which is massive. We're just constantly seeing a strong increase of players on Counter-Strike, and those players want skins. They want their character and their items to look pretty. We look at the player history, some ups and downs, but fairly consistently it's been going up over the past, decade, even longer. And we have to realize that with more people comes more desire for skins, which means demand for skin goes up. It's that simple. And with demand going up, assuming the supply doesn't increase at any more rapid rates, then prices will continue to do the same. So If you're looking to do anything this week, I'd recommend arbitrage. Really is the only thing that I would consider even moderately safe right now. Investing in those cheaper cases is still going to be profitable. Things that people are going to be using, danger zone cases, snake bites, even Operation Phoenix cases, just anything that after prices start to fix themselves, the cases will follow them and increase in prices. People realize, okay, it's no longer profitable to do trade ups. Now we'll open cases again. So that's about it as far as my market prediction goes. I think that everything will be fine in the long run, as I've been predicting this whole time. Make sure you guys drop a subscription on YouTube and a follow on Twitter if you want to keep up to date with market predictions and market analysis. And I'll see you guys next time.